All right.
There he is.
Hey, welcome back.
How are you?
So it looks like it's
How's there being live streamed?
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Thanks for joining, everyone. We are gonna go ahead and get started.
great. Yeah, you're good to go. I can-
Great,
we're
thank
gonna,
you.
Share the agenda on the screen so folks can see what to expect. And-
All right, so there are no guests aside from our regular non-voting members at this point,
I
so.
mean, Katrina is a guest. Is
Is she technically? Okay, I know she's joined a number of times, so.
I would, up to you. I would invite her if she had. to.
Okay, Katrina, if you want to introduce yourself, for anyone maybe joining the live stream later.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just a guest. I'm Katrina Williams. I work at the Ulster County Department of Mental Health. I'm also a commissioner on the Live Well Commission with the city.
Thank you so much. All right, so the first item of old business, and the only item of old business is the grants update.
Yeah. So if you had a report,
Great.
we can review it together. Put up on screen. I don't believe there's too many changes. So let's see, as usual, the ones in red are the updates. So it looks like the Academy Green Park sidewalk rehabilitation has started, which is great. I don't know a whole lot about that, but my understanding is that they're replacing basically all the sidewalks.
Yeah, the actual construction started?
No, this just tells me that the project has started, which
Oh, okay.
may mean a number of things. Sometimes that's just like the contract is being
Yeah,
negotiated.
okay.
Right, no, this is not necessarily when the construction started. In fact, this would be sort of an awkward time to start construction.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe in the next year. Yeah. Looks like leaving the waterfront, the contract is awaiting signature in Washington, so that's still sort of
Yeah.
waiting. And then the reconnecting communities, that's the reconfiguring of 9W. It's like contract and negotiation has begun. Expect execution in first quarter 2026. That's a
Wow.
really good sign.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that project to move forward.
I just thought it was so interesting that they were starting repaving on 9W there with this in the works. Like it just seemed.
This is probably a planning project, so it means the construction might not happen.
Okay. All right.
So first you have to go through the whole planning process of what is it that you want it to be.
Mhm.
And that can take,
Sure.
a year.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
A lot of work to figure out how you're gonna reconnect the neighborhood.
Yeah, and my understanding is that the grant application was sort of like envisioning a road diet, which would be a
Mhm.
huge change for
Yeah.
that space. So I'm sure there'll be a whole robust public
So it's
engagement.
fine to do a little repaving now because they're talking years down the road. It's not like this is any time in the near future.
If I've learned anything, it's these projects take a really long.
Yeah.
And the road may have needed to be resurfaced anyway, so.
Sure.
So a big long list of completed projects, no new awards since the July report.
Okay.
Let's see, pending awards, CDGB, that's Community Development Block Grants, entitlement funds. Phase 2 of Academy Green sidewalks, there it is, so that's,
Oh, okay, so that's where we are.
I'm not sure, maybe that's a specific funding source for that project that maybe we're still waiting on some funding for. I'm not entirely sure how that's different than what we saw above.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That all looks good. Do they have any questions or anything?
Is Boxhole Flatbush on this one?
No, but thank you for asking. And it's on our agenda.
Yeah, I saw an article in the Daily Freeman that discussed that, so I threw it on there.
And if you don't, since. But
Yeah,
last time,
sure.
no, it's in the announcements over there. Hi,
Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you.
Will be a public meeting December 9th about Flatbush Foxhall, from
Okay.
5 to 7.
December 9, 5 to 7 here.
Yes.
Council chambers. That's great. And that will be open house. Does that mean you sort of bring your comments to share? Will there be, I guess there's a link here, but do we know who would be at that? Does the link say?
So the link, it looks like the link is to the Engage, to the project website.
Uh-huh.
Open house usually means you can come and go anytime, doesn't,
Okay.
it means there's not a formal presentation you have to be there from the beginning of. And I'm sure that you can provide your feedback at any time.
Sure.
And the PAC group has already met before, so we are aware of pretty much what the project is supposed to be at this point in time. So now it's for more public.
Okay. Yeah, I know we've seen in meetings here, the sort of streetscape plan and all that kind of stuff, and we've given our feedback.
We had a meeting on October 22nd with John Schultz and the consultants. And it pretty much laid out what they envisioned the plan to be. And in the article that I skimmed really briefly, it mentioned about how they're trying to make it safer and what they're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to, to make it all work. There will be some changes, and I have a feeling there will be some people who will, want to voice their.
Sure. I remember one of the sort of contentious issues with Vauxhall was the right of ways for the sidewalks, taking people's property a little bit.
Well, they're not going to be taking any property, if I remember this.
Okay.
I don't believe that they're going to be taking any property. They are talking about dead ending Elm Road.
Right.
And they will be closing Cornell to turn onto Cornell Street. That's going to be.
Right, where the tracks are racing, right? Yeah.
Right. They are going to be making that right hand where people, I only remember this from when I used to kind of see where other people were driving, because it wasn't me. But, cars would go around and it was.
Right.
That will no longer happen.
Yeah, no, that's all exciting stuff, I think, so.
But there will be people who are going to come and
Sure.
share their opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope to be able to attend that. That sounds like it'll be an exciting meeting.
I think it will be.
When is that? Sorry.
December 9th. Yeah, 5 to 7.
Has this changed in recent history?
I don't know. This is what's on the Engage website. I'm not sure if this is the most recent or not. I was just bringing up these.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what Claudette's talking about, it's
The group did meet for years. There were funding issues. In fact, I was kind of surprised that we were able to get the funding to go start. So we definitely need to meet for, I want to say, at least 2 years. I think the last time we had a meeting, Greg, was the 10th.
I'm not a part of it.
Yeah,
Right,
no.
that's my understanding. It's been a
Yeah,
long time.
it's been a long time.
Mm.
So when we actually had the meeting,
there it is.
it was, like, oh, we're finally going to be able to do this.
Right. Yeah. So here's what you're talking about, that dead end,
Mhm.
right? With the train tracks and
Mhm.
the whole
Mhm.
kit and caboodle there.
And then the part that's at Cornell, so I think this is gonna be a little bit controversial, and then I think the part at Cornell where I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to find it.
Yeah. I don't. As far as Cornell's not ringing a bell.
You're not going to be able to make that right.
It's really.
That's right, where the train tracks
Really,
are.
yeah, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to make that right.
Across, Vauxhall.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get it for you.
It's like a 5, it's like one of those.
The tracks are like this way and then everything, and then you can kind of scoot around. It's, you just-
It's like a weird,
it's a very, it's like a five-way
Yeah.
intersection that, you can't go straight because the train is there, but you think you can go around the cars that are waiting, and then,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not.
people are
good.
doing unsafe things.
Yeah, it's just not good.
So right now, this is open, and this is where it's kind of an awkward place.
Yeah.
So they're closing that out. I think
Yeah.
people are gonna be, I think people are gonna be upset about it.
Yeah.
There will be some, because I believe they have to turn on the street before that, which name, I don't know why I want to say Green, it's not Green Street, but anyway, there is gonna be, there will be
See.
some concern, but it really is a better safety issue to prohibit that turn.
Yeah.
And it looks a lot better for pedestrians, for sure.
I mean, it would be,
Yeah.
it would be.
What is the The apartment building there, the artist.
Yeah, the,
Oh, the lease building?
Oh, the latest, yep. I don't know, are they still doing that drive-through coffee place right on that corner?
If they are, I wish they would do it because I'm so sick of people coming to visit me going, we're getting a coffee place. And I keep going, what coffee place are you talking about? And then when I'm like, it's been there for.
I remember hearing all about it.
It was talk like 6 months ago that they got it to go through or.
Right.
Something else.
And then it just seems to have disappeared.
It's always been there for so long.
Just
It's like,
seems like
The big problem was the traffic flow that they were worried about.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
coming in and out of there would definitely make that interesting.
Yeah, because then people are gonna be trying to do like a U-turn.
Yeah. It's not a good spot.
yo, it's not a good spot for.
I guess I didn't realize that was Cornell, it came all the way down. I always think of Cornell's more towards, like the post office to Broadway, and then it
Yeah.
frankly keeps going and then does that same thing.
It goes to Foxhole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I suspect that people on Foxhole, when confronted with a train where now they like exit Cornell,
Yeah.
they're probably gonna be trying to flip U's. It will be interesting to see how that goes.
Sure.
But, you mean like because when they first realized?
Yeah, that they're,
They're
you're
like,
approaching and then there's a
and then
train
they're like,
coming
oh,
and you're like,
it's
do I
a
face it? And then
skateboard.
it's, do I
Yeah.
flip you and
Yeah.
So it'll cut off that,
It might require some.
That ability to take a break there.
Mhm.
People will
Yeah.
get used to it.
Yeah, people get.
Yeah. Well, everyone can go and express their thoughts, I guess, on the
Yes,
night.
On the ninth, yes.
All right. That's great. So the next item was some facts we've learned about the city's speed camera program and the contract with Genoptic.
okay, bring up that link.
Sure. Well, actually, I guess just quickly, just because we were already talking about it, the Foxhall Flappers, there's also an article in the Freeman that I posted on in the agenda that just briefly talked about how the sewer work is set to begin next year.
Mhm.
Just so everyone's kind of aware of what's sort of out in the,
So again, a theme of things are gonna take a while.
yeah.
Sewer, I mean, that's gonna take.
Right, the sewer itself is, they're looking for a year plus.
Oh, wow.
2027,
Before they can do it.
right, 2027 for the streetscape work.
Okay.
But the sewer work is important.
But that's, I don't know if you missed this, but that's kind of pending the fact that we might not even get funded because of all the cuts in federal.
So is that in the article or?
No, I'm just.
Yeah, just
saying,
sort
I'm
of
just-
general.
Because if you say bikes and anything, they'll take it. But I guess this is, yeah, so.
This might go a little faster.
There aren't any bike lanes on
But
Foxhole.
they do say something about it being.
Sure.
Well, the sewer work needs to get done to kind of prevent some of the sinkhole problems that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the last update with this project was that it got held up in federal funding and stuff.
Yes, that's right, That's why we
Is that still the case?
No, well, no, because for whatever reason, it's going forward, so.
Okay.
So, but that's why I said we had met for years. We
Right.
were meeting fairly regularly and then because there was no money.
Yeah, so apparently the money has appeared.
From somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll probably find out more in December.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
No, that'll be good. And that's, I think, right before the next meeting, right? Meeting the 10th, so. Yeah, the 10th, all right. There you go. We can bring some updates.
Fun me.
Yeah, exciting week, right before Christmas.
So we should probably go to that meeting, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously anyone can do whatever they want, but I hope to be able to attend.
Yeah, it sounds like
So,
surely couldn't hurt.
yeah. And then, so this is the info on Genoptic. Could you zoom in a little bit, Emily? Yeah. So this
Whole
is,
thing.
okay, yeah, I think it's a
I
couple
think some
pages
of them are
down.
not related. That's Hemley Bowser.
Okay.
I don't-
Yell when.
I hope this is
Oh, there.
Yeah,
That's actually,
it should be, it's just a
but I
couple
think it's
pages
down, yeah.
And no. Upside down.
Parking lot.
There it is.
Okay, great. So at the end of September, the city and Genoptic entered into a 2-year contract, an option to extend to install speed cameras in 3 school zones. And then there's also a link to another article about school zones looking to go live mid-January.
Sorry.
City and Genoptic entered into a 2-year contract. Only work to install speed cameras.
What's that?
Oh, the YouTube.
It's YouTube. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
Go on.
Yeah, so this basically, I don't think this was telling us anything we didn't already know, but it did say that, you know, the contract's been signed and it was official correspondence between Common Council president and the mayor. Can you see who this says at the bottom?
It looks like that.
Oh, the engineer. Okay. So there you go. It's just sort of laying out some facts with stuff that, you know, we've long known was kind of coming, but and then the Daily Tribune article kind of cements the fact that they're looking to go live this thing in January.
Looks like
Good.
that.
Yeah. You know, and I think it's good to get it going in the winter because I think the time, you know, you want it to be working well is in the warmer weather when kids are out and about, everyone's out and about, you know. And I think the warm weather around the school is when, you know, not summertime per se, but like, you know, the end of the school year is when you want to be most vigilant with this stuff. So I think by then they'll hopefully be able to iron out any kinks, and then we'll just sort of be running full steam ahead.
Did they talk about any projected revenue?
Oh, could you open up the Freeman article? I'm not sure if they did that. I don't think so.
Freeman wasn't
Yeah.
long.
I guess it doesn't, one thing they didn't say is that they're just gonna do signs. I don't know, I'm not sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting, just to warn people about this, that they're
Mhm.
going to put speed zone cameras
Yeah.
in, so. I don't think it said anything about like a period of warning, you know, we're kind of.
Well, I think
We said that.
well, I think with the mayor that he had said when we talked with him about
Oh,
this.
did he say that?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Well, usually there is a, you know, kind of a warning, you know, you got a warning, but at some point in time, I would think that Genoptic would say, well,
Unless we want some money now.
yeah. Well, they're doing it for a revenue
Yeah.
share, so I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah.
But one thing I also remember from talking with the mayor is that every instance of a ticket will be reviewed by a real person. Like
Mhm.
someone I think from the
PD.
police department
Yeah,
will
yeah,
actually review before anyone's like mailed anything, so.
yeah. So I hope people get that message too, because I think there's gonna be a lot of, you know, people kind of like getting upset and
Oh, yeah.
not knowing what's happening.
Right, I mean, there's some, you know, definitely like an AI Big Brother, you know, Skynet kind of, you know, art, the whole thing, so I think having.
Except for that there's speed cameras everywhere,
Yes.
and, I mean, so now we're putting them, I mean, I think most drivers are fairly used to the fact that there's speed cameras and they probably know how it works, so.
Yeah,
If anything, it'll just be that, oh, there's a speed camera in this school zone, and I personally think that the biggest thing will be, well, school's not in session, so why did I get a ticket?
Mhm.
Yeah.
right.
Think that they will not be able to make tickets on the days the school is not in session. And in fact, that's a big part of the admin work will be going through and making sure that they're not being sent out on snow days and
Okay.
on holidays. So I don't think that people might think that that is the case, but I do not think that the city will actually be able to take people when the school's not in session.
Okay.
Because I believe the legislation is very clear that it's like a certain number of hours before and a certain number of hours between school days. I just remember hearing a conversation about that.
That I think would be the
Snow
biggest
days.
complaint, so if that's already in the mix.
Yeah.
You know, morning, gotta camera.
I do think people will be driving down, especially Broadway, later during the day and say, why did I get a ticket? School's not in session right now. I didn't know this. The Kingston High School has night classes until.
Oh, wow.
So school is in session much longer than I think many people are aware of.
You're gonna find out very quickly.
That I think is where people are,
Yeah.
is when they drive at 6, right?
Sure.
And they think that it's.
So we got schools over for hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Does the speed limit change? Meaning
It doesn't on Broadway.
it's gonna be the same.
And so it's just a matter of like whether or not we're enforcing the law. We're choosing only to enforce the law during some hours and other hours, the law doesn't matter.
But also like right now on Washington Avenue, whenever the speed limit is 15, there's flashing lights, right? So they should be able to know by that, seems like.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like, and then Broadway, you're just not speeding.
I can't recall if, I think there's sign, is it a school zone down there right now?
Like, look, right out.
I don't think there's any like speed limit.
Well, the speed limit doesn't change.
There's definitely, well, it should, right? But it doesn't. There are no speed limit signs saying during school hours.
I can't speak accurately.
Yeah, I'm almost certain there are.
I'm fairly certain there is school speed zones on Andrew and whatever the other one is, because I walked past those streets. So I'm fairly certain there is there, but I cannot recall.
Well, either way, society is moving along, and in just 2 short months, we'll start to see how that actually works in reality.
It's gonna be a lot of tickets.
I'm sure, yeah, I think there'll be a lot of tickets, and I'm sure we'll hear all about it. I know,
About 2 to 3 months, yeah, and then it'll be, okay.
keep my eye.
They'll be like, okay, so that they meant that sign means something,
Yeah.
like, we should follow that.
Yeah.
That'll work.
I look forward to the Kingston Wire, op-ed or
Oh, yeah,
or something.
that should be great.
All right, let's see, the next
They
item.
might be listening, right?
Mm-mm. Oh, yeah, so Dave, you're gonna discuss
Oh,
your tour.
so I did my little tour. I took Jen Metzger,
Yeah.
Gina Hansett, and Dina Suggs. And they gave me like a week's notice, and it was all, how it all came together is surprisingly, it came together fantastic. I have called wheelchair company that I work with, that I do stuff with and I work with. And they sent up a technician, keep them safe, and they sent another person and a couple of chairs, and we made sure they got the type of chair you would get from an insurance. So
Okay.
the normal medical chair. So no all-terrain like this. And we started upstairs and we came basically out of her office and we went into the bathrooms and she realized, and they all saw, like, I'm like, either this is gonna go really good or it's gonna go really bad. And everything I've ever complained about, they saw.
Wow.
And they really got it. Really nice, like,
Great.
the way they reacted was really good too, because they really saw this stuff. And they realized,
Yeah.
then we go get in the elevators and they could barely fit in there. Jen hit the wall when she went in and then they have to try and turn in there. And it's so tight. One person can go in with you and that's it.
Mhm.
Can I ask a question? The bathrooms, did it say like candy?
Yes.
On it? Yeah.
Yes, and they do have like a power door. Fix that because
Yeah.
when I had my meeting with them, it wasn't working. I literally come out of the meeting and I go, where's your bathroom? And I go in there, I'm like, you might want to fix this. But that was fixed and it's a good bathroom. Don't get me wrong. It's,
Is it at the county building?
yes, this
Okay,
is up at the
sorry, yeah.
upstairs, the sixth floor, and I think the ones downstairs are exactly the same. You know, she saw it, she couldn't get her chair, she can get your chair in there, but you can't turn around and close the door, you can't, there's no privacy, there's nothing, the chairs don't fit. All these old ADA laws are for manual wheelchairs, and the majority of us are end up in these things. I mean, there's a lot of manuals out there as well, but like, we still need to be able to get in there. They saw that, they saw, there are 12 videos up on my site. If you guys want to look, you can kind of see the craziness. We had a lot of fun, and as we went around, we started and we went right over to the Old Dutch Church. And as you can imagine, those sidewalks are not good. Honestly, I haven't been up there in a year, and I was gonna go up ahead of time and take a look, and I was like, nah, you know what, I'm gonna just be surprised.
Yes.
And it, much worse than I even imagined, like, it really was bad. So Gina Hansoot comes up the sort of curb cut and literally bottoms out on the first piece of sidewalk she gets on. So we have to get her off of that and then move her over there. And then there's a, by the side entrance, I forget all the street names up there. But over where they have the ramp coming out.
Yeah.
We went and checked out the
Then
ramp.
the
The ramp is very, yes,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Truncated
Very
ramp.
nice. There's no curb cuts on the corner of the Old Dutch and St. Joseph's. So there's literally no way to get off that curb. And it's like, if you wanna, you're on that curb, on that sidewalk, you can't get off and go over to St. Joseph's Church or anything over on that side.
Yeah.
You're literally stuck there, or you have to go all the way down to the end, down by the DMV.
Right.
Cross over and then come all the way back down.
Mhm.
For me, not the end of the world, I'm gonna just jump off the curb, but
Sure, but
they
Yeah.
can, and I showed them that kind of stuff, which is really good that they could see it. We went by, I think it's Opa's, I don't know the restaurant, so I think it's a Greek restaurant up there, and they had a whole bunch of tables out and a sandwich board, and sure enough, she drove right through that and hit the table. This is one of my biggest complaints when it comes to the sandwich boards and tables that are in the way. Again, most of those chairs, if you see the sidewalks the way they are, there's so many holes, there's so many, open spaces. So the front casters on these will catch in there and it throws your chair. So if you're going in between, like she had this much room, like that was it. Here's the table and here's the sandwich board. And, you can make, but she, of course, went right into the table. I made it through. Jen had a little smaller of a chair. Her chair made it through, but she also had seen Gina hit and she was like, I gotta be
Yeah.
careful now. And it's one of those things where like, if somebody was sitting at that table, she would have hit them. Like, it would have literally just.
do you have any idea or any inkling if the setup at Opa's is following the city code in terms of outdoor seating? And
I don't know what the city code is, but it should,
yeah, I bet it must have dimensions, right? You must
Probably
have
does.
sidewalk
it needs to be,
clearance.
definitely needs to be fixed. It was really tight. Don't know what, the place with all the red stuff, that it's got red tables outside and red,
The corner.
yep, on the corner, up front.
Is it
Buns, burgers?
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
It's on the one corner, and that you can see in videos has all these huge holes and all kinds of
Well,
problems.
You run into the problem with your chair, but even,
Yes.
uptown, even with my cane,
That's
and
next.
roller, I literally stop every 6 inches because it won't roll. I keep hitting a lip or a
Yes.
hole. And, you have at least the advantage of 4 with a cane and you're walking and your cane gets stuck, you just go head over. So it's,
Or your foot.
or your, I mean, well, hopefully with the cane, to lift your foot, but just in case you can't or whatever. I mean, that's one of the problems when I'm always saying about, Bluestone, I know, but it's because it raises and that causes, you can't move.
Every single piece of slab up there is crooked and
Yeah.
yellow, like everything.
I wonder, with the plan, the mayor's plan to get rid of the awnings, the bike plan. If there's talk afterwards of redoing all the sidewalks there, 'cause they are a mess and there's a whole bunch of reasons why, but I do feel like one of them is sort of like the bike plan supports are just kind of now, decaying as much as anything else is.
Sure.
If they get rid of it, they're gonna have a chance to sort of like re-level.
I think they have to.
Yeah.
They'd have to re-level it all, you need curb cuts all over the place. There's no curb cut from the old, I don't know if it's hanging still, but the old Chinese place to go across the street. Over towards those red tables, so that fund, see, I don't know what these are. I should have paid attention. There's no curb cut, that's actually in a video where
Yeah.
like Jen had to go around and stay in the road. Get to the other side.
But is that a controlled crossing?
I don't think anything's controlled up there.
I mean, in other words, there's not a light there, and it's not.
There's a light.
There's a light.
Yeah, there's a light there,
Yeah.
okay, so it is a controlled.
I
crossing.
wasn't sure what you meant.
Well, I don't think, it's a stop sign with like a flashing red light. I don't think it's a.
Yeah.
Is there a crosswalk there?
Yeah, no, there's definitely a
Yeah.
crosswalk.
Yeah, that's where they have the rainbow ones.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Rainbow square, basically.
Okay, so yeah,
So all four of those corners.
Yeah.
There's no curb cuts.
that's pretty wild.
And I also, I think, so I was hearing somewhere, so, and sometimes we have some of these curb cuts where it's like, great, okay, we have a curb cut, but it kind of directs you into the diagonal direction.
Mhm.
Like you can't really go into the crosswalk, you kind of have to
Right.
go straight into the street and then around, and that,
It's all that kind of stuff is really strange and it's really hard to navigate.
yeah.
Up there was really challenging.
Yeah.
I need to ask the engineer next time we talk to him or something. I want to know if the grates that are in the sidewalks and the metal doors, I think they're for sellers or whatever.
Oh, the vaults, that are underneath the
That go in.
sidewalk?
I want to know how strong they are.
Yeah.
I actually got nervous and I was
Oh,
like,
sure.
I went on one.
I think a walk on that.
Yeah,
so
I'm 190 pounds and this thing's 350 pounds, so I'm like, I wonder if these things,
Yeah.
what they're rated, for. I'm sure they have to be rated for something, but we came around the one corner and I was like, I'm not going over that
Yeah.
one, like, and so then we had to like go under some kind of electrical device, and that's in a video too.
Yeah.
It was really, but that said, I don't, they could be totally safe. My guess is they could probably handle a car, but.
But it's interesting about the crosswalks, and I know we brought that up at these meetings before, about how they go off at angles, and also that there's so many intersections up in, uptown Kingston that still haven't been done because they're going pretty aggressively and putting in curb
Yeah.
cuts all over. But
There's like
so
certain
many
spots
places
that are
that-
great, and then
Yeah.
the other ones, it's like not so great.
Yeah.
But yet they seem to be like the busier spots, and you're like, well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's what's kind of surprising, frankly.
It'd be nice to see those done. And we have to see a lot of stuff. We almost got hit by a bike on the sidewalk in front of the church. Because he had nowhere to go. But he was actually nice about it. He was kind of barreling in, and he
Yeah.
realized what was going on.
Yeah.
And then we're like, one of my guys saw him and told us to bag it into the
Mm.
fence so he could have room to
Right.
get around, but it was, so happened 2 or 3 times. And,
Oh.
yeah, there's a lot of bikes.
Well, I feel, it kind of feels like we have like 3 lanes for, or no, we have 4 lanes for the cars, because we have 2 parking, like, I'm thinking on Main Street, we have 2 parking lanes, and we have I guess it's 1 lane, but anyway, so it's 3 lanes for cars.
Yeah,
And then we're trying to squeeze everyone else onto these little sidewalks. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, because it's like, we're trying to have the bikes. I mean, the bikes aren't legally allowed to be on the crosswalk, but functionally, that's what people are doing, because they don't have another way to go, so. Yeah, so we're just trying to crowd everybody onto this little area.
and then they're not good to begin with. That's
Yeah.
the scare. I wouldn't want to ride a bike on those sidewalks.
Yeah, yeah.
You could easily get thrown. I have from in this thing, and this thing's really good. Well, if you watch the video, you can see where I'm like tooling along, I'm fine. And then they're behind me and keep getting, shoved.
Well, yeah.
At one point, Jen actually admits, she's like, so does it like being in your chair causes you more pain, doesn't it? And I'm like, yes, yes, especially up here. Like, this is really painful driving around. Like, if you're in pain, like, we've got great suspensions, but you still feel everything.
Yeah.
And it's, it's curved, the sidewalks were sticking up that far and
Sure.
in a couple spots, not all.
Yeah.
And then we noticed which stores were accessible versus what weren't accessible. There's a lot of still not accessible stores up there that they still got steps or whatever. We went by the LGBTQ place, and as I was making a video, because I realized he didn't have a ramp out front, and I was like, let me check the side, and I go over, no ramp there either. I said, and as I'm saying, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a ramp. You may just have to call or just knock on the door and they'll bring one in. And sure enough, the guy comes out. I forget his name. He was a wonderful man. And he came out and he filled this all in and he's like, we have a ramp. He goes, matter of fact, we have a very good ramp. We don't want it to flex underneath you. And then he went on about they put in a handicap bathroom upstairs along with an elevator to get to it. And like knocked out 2 little bathrooms to make one big one. So it was really nice. Like we had this everywhere we went, we kind of like would meet with somebody or see somebody. We never got to downtown or we didn't even make it to the stadium because I had 2 hours and we ended up using it all just uptown.
Wow.
It was really good. I think it was very eye-opening for them. Jen had just realized it Sunday that couple days before we had done it because she had brought her 85-year-old mother in a push wheelchair and almost dumped her out of it by that one tree on the side of the old Dutch church. And she's like, as soon as I said, we're going down here, and she's like, oh, I already know about that spot. I'm like, I made sure I had everybody around them because I'm like, please don't let them dump out.
I mean,
I put them in good chairs.
The point across, but.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want them to get shaken a little bit. Don't let them get hurt.
Yeah. So is there any sort of next steps or is there?
The Think Differently program is or initiative is going to start kicking in, although Gina Hansen lost, so I don't know, she was really pushing to get that moving. Yes,
Okay.
so she got moving. And I'm not sure who's gonna take her place when it comes to that, or how fast we're gonna jump into that, but a couple of, they did mention to me that if they've learned anything from all this, that we need, adult changing tables and bathrooms in Ulster County, because we don't have any, and they promised me that that's one thing that's definitely going to happen, and we're gonna figure out some places. And then going forward, she's like, I gotta start figuring out how to get state to come in here and do something, because, or however that works.
Yeah.
I don't understand how all that works.
Right.
Very honest, I don't. We didn't even get to that point that day because we ran out of our 2 hours. There was so much, and it was really good because they picked up on things that you don't see, and it's something. If any of you ever want to go do it, I can get company to come back, and it's just a way to really learn.
Yeah.
Even for me, I was up there, and I'm like, I've lived here 56 years, and I was there a year ago, but I don't go uptown, so I haven't been up there. And I'm like, this is not good. Like, it's really bumpy, really bad up there. And we're about to go into a winter, which is going to make it even worse. So we'll see what they do with it. They seem very thankful. The Think Differently thing has got a program idea they're going to do where I think they're going to talk to the chamber and get them involved and talk to businesses and make like a medal or a plaque or a sticker or something that will go on a building. It'll be on your front door to say that you're accessible, that you think differently. It'll be some kind of think differently thing. And then I'm supposed to get back with them. We're going to come up with a little checklist and of things that, we're not going to make, you don't have to have everything perfect, but at least make it accessible, have a way in there and maybe a bathroom that somebody can get into, but nothing too crazy, but enough to get it started and get people to think about ramps.
Sure.
Well, just for this particular program, it's great that they're saying think accessible. The thing I always worry about is that there's so many different levels of accessibility that I know as a vision impaired person, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, we have a handicap entrance. Well, that's nice, except that the button is over here, the door is over here. If I'm in a wheelchair and I can see, that might work, but I can't see. So I don't know to go over there. So my thing is, it's great, but they might want to start thinking about their different levels of accessibility. I think it's wonderful that yes, you can get a wheelchair and you can maneuver, but that's great. But there are no hand railings for me to go up the steps. Or the restaurants are so much fun. The light is so low, you can't even maneuver. So, I think in that program, they might want to say in ways that they're trying to be more than just wheelchair accessible, because a lot of times they really just go, oh, well, you need a wheelchair in. And it's
I
like,
may be
yeah.
wording that wrong because it's more than just wheelchair.
Good. I just wanted to make sure that was an awareness.
I spoke for you there
Yeah.
and because I thought of you while I was up there and I thought of you on that sidewalk up there because you had mentioned that to me in the
Oh, I
past.
hate the sidewalks uptown or downtown
Or
or.
you had mentioned it, so I
I
thought.
can't, I know, really. People you want to go out to dinner, you want to have fun, and literally, I have to hold on, and every, it's jerky and it's miserable because nothing is smooth.
Nothing. I can't even imagine how you get around up there without falling, to be honest.
Sometimes I wonder how too,
Oh.
but I go slow but it's awkward, especially, and I mean, I have some vision, but it's better, no vision.
Yeah, then you're done.
You're feel.
No, then you're gonna fall. I did bring all that up. I went down a bunch of different disabilities, as well as strollers and like for Renee, I forget her daughter's name. I can't remember anybody's name anymore, but, trying to push a stroller around up there with an adult child in it, or an adult, cerebral palsy child, like, you're not getting around up there. Like, it's vicious. Like, there's spots where you're just like, I can't do this. Like, and then my brain goes into thinking like, how is somebody in a manual chair getting over that? And how are they, you're gonna tip and fall. Like, if it's making this 350 pound chair kind of tilt to the side, imagine what it's doing to a 30-pound manual chair. But I went over a lot of that, and Dina Suggs, the diversity officer, said she would come to a meeting and discuss more of it because I told her that you would want to talk to her and that we would want to talk to her and go over things like that to add onto there, because I can't always remember all that stuff as well.
Mhm.
But I did bring that up for you. I very much did. I might even have that on film.
Yeah.
I'll have to find it. And if I do, I'll send it to you.
Also thinking about how Gina was voted out of her office, I was thinking it might be nice to bring some of the new common council members, invite them to a meeting
Yeah.
once or even before they're like voted, like sworn in or whatever, just to,
Just to let them know who we are. and what-
yeah. It's not just sort of to introduce the work of the council and also just rather than a chance to introduce themselves.
And don't forget, every January, the common council president reappoints your lead.
Oh, okay. Bob won his seat, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
he did.
Yeah, it was.
Just keep that. No, I'm laughing because Bob is very fortunate. Bob is in Italy, right there. I don't know if it's back then. I mean,
Wow.
he was. I was laughing. I was like, he said this trip was planned. It was a long time ago, but yeah, I think they might be back shortly if the air traffic control is less than the country. But yeah, Bob has been on the years. So that's why I was laughing. It was like this.
Okay, they won anyway.
He won. Yeah, he won. Yeah.
Yeah, Fran, I know that down where I live, we have a new, city, alderperson, so.
So, dude,
I looked at the city code of the sidewalk. Would you guys want a few pieces of?
Sure, yeah.
Um,
Just out of curiosity.
So for sidewalk cafes, the language reads, The City of Kingston Building Department is authorized to issue a license to operate a sidewalk cafe / outdoor seating on public property or public right of way, provided that the standards set forth in this chapter and all requirements of the American with Disabilities Act guidelines have been compiled by the occupant. So I'm reading that to say that when businesses apply to have an outdoor seating area, the building department reviews that plan, looks like they have to submit a plan, and that it has to, agree with the Americans with Disability Act. So I think that's interesting. So I think that if something isn't isn't
Compliant,
compliant,
That word,
okay.
then contact the building department, and the building department is the enforcement.
Yeah, I would guess the Americans with Disabilities Act probably has a width or something.
And then the city
Right.
code in another section, this is standard, minimum sidewalk width for all new sidewalks should be 5 feet. Where the minimum recommended 5-foot width is not possible due to site conditions, a 4-foot sidewalk may be installed with a minimum 5-foot square passing area space no more than 200 linear feet apart from ADA 2010. So that's standard ADA language that the city uses for all of our sidewalks and parks.
Well,
When we create new sidewalks.
when you create new sidewalks. So when you're going down to Savona's and there's garbage can here,
plants,
a plant, yeah, you know, awning, whatever, there's no room.
Yeah.
So what compliance is that? I mean,
Yeah.
I think that they may have a plan that says they comply. I think that it's not always.
Yeah, so if we're talking about outdoor seating, I
Right,
think the building
but this is-
department is
right.
people to go to.
Yeah.
If it's a planter in the way, that's a little more gray to me. You could try building, try DPW, try the mayor. Also, I wanna, I know I'm a little bit out of turn, if you don't mind, the sidewalk improvement plan has been released, of requesting proposals for consultants.
Yeah.
It takes a long time, y'all. That's my theme tonight. But, so that's a good step forward. So the city has I think the due date is December, early in December. We'll get proposals in. I believe, Paul as chair, you'll be asked to be on the selection committee.
Wonderful.
And then we've asked the, president of the common council to appoint a, common council member to also be on that selection committee.
Okay,
She'll
great.
probably choose Bob.
Sure.
Yes, it's
What they
wonderful.
decide.
That
So
is
that's what
great.
we're-
That's-
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a really long time. So that does not mean that we will fix all of these in the short term by any means, but we are making incremental.
Yeah.
Heading towards a horizon of improving sidewalks in the long term.
Wonderful.
All right, great. Well, thank you. Thanks for that. And thanks for taking them around.
it was good.
Yeah.
It really was. It was a good experience, I think, for them. I don't know, we'll get, if you wanna have Dina come in, we can ask her.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I think that'd be great if you want to reach out to her or pass her info along your way. Our next meeting is December 10th, so
Okay.
if not, then next year.
Sounds good.
All right, great. So then the next item was about the new speed bumps that kind of, I guess, surprised some people. They're unmarked.
There are signs there.
There are, oh,
Tonight, I just made my wife go check.
okay, there you go.
She sent over a picture and they are.
I didn't even
They're
see
not
this.
marked on the road though, so they're just yellow signs on the side.
Interesting. Okay, they're not like yeah, I didn't even see this in the mayor's newsletter, but everyone kind of jumped on it, that it came out of nowhere. So, Gage, is it Stephen Street or Stepan?
Stepan.
Stevan.
Stepan.
Where is it?
Stefan.
Van.
Stevan.
They said,
Man.
people I know live on to say Stefan, but
I
anyway.
grew up on it.
No.
One street over.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I lived,
David lived in the city of Kingston the longest of all of us.
I lived there.
in County Colette, but not the city. of
So
Kingston.
what did you call it, Stefan?
Run
it's Stevan.
just.
Stepan, okay.
I mean, maybe new
Between,
people now call it something different. but
Okay.
We grew up, it's called Stevan. That was always known as Stevan. If you hear them on,
I've never been.
It's like kind of.
Police scanner. it's Stevan.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you take a right.
With a PH,
Yes.
without a V.
Yes.
And that's on Plymouth, that's the only reason why
The train tracks, but just
Is
past
it
it.
new or no one in Uptown? Do you know the road I'm talking about? There's a road that's Noone.
Oh, and
And I don't know if
Stefan,
it's new.
it was just mine.
He says Savannah.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's the one I keep asking people.
Is it noon or no one? Okay.
Where's you, right?
It's a connector between Linderman and not Maine, but Pearl, Linderman and Pearl. It's just one way.
Oh, that little,
They close it for Halloween every year.
the little thingy, yeah.
But do not, people keep asking me because I, from the area, I actually don't. So I have different answers.
I think it's
I don't know.
right?
I don't think I've ever known what the name
Anyway,
is.
that's a little piece of case trivia.
Unique.
Sorry.
That's,
These seem like such strange streets to put these speed bumps on. I guess they are getting a lot of traffic.
Oh, now where's the speed bump?
So they're just south of the cemetery. They're both, if you're going,
Very on Foxhall.
yeah.
The other one.
yeah, the cemetery on Foxhall. So if you're going down Foxhall from Broadway, they're, both these streets are on your right. One closer to Broadway on the side of the train tracks, the other you cross the train tracks and it's a right.
Right,
So they're both just, these,
Going down from Clifton.
coming down Stefan or
Like
the bands.
here.
I'm saying, yeah, well, I don't know how to say it now. The street that starts SETP. It's like a block from my door, going down the hill. Now that I don't know how to say it. Yeah, they put speed bumps there?
yeah.
We'll go look on. when I
Gage
bring it
Street
back.
and Savannah.
Wow,
So.
And then
Calling
the
it
2
Dutch
blocks
Street.
up is Gage.
yeah, but that's off of Foxhall.
Yeah, they're both off of Foxhall. Well, they
They
both,
run off of Foxhall.
yeah, they both run off
Yeah,
of Foxhall.
Yeah,
up to.
Gage doesn't go up to Clifton, but whatever it is, goes.
Yes, yes. It's so interesting to think that there was call to put them there, so.
So I reached out
Discussing
to
with the
John.
mayor and DPW, yeah.
I reached out to John Schulteis and he put this, and I put in the meeting notes, his answer was, these locations were selected after discussion with the mayor and DPW. We had a list of relatively long street segments, 500 feet or longer between stop sign locations, and these were selected. I thought that I had also heard that the community members had asked for.
That, I think, is basically what we're seeing as the number one
Yeah.
cause of the speed bump is community advocacy. But it's interesting because in my time on these streets, it's gone from no way are we ever getting any speed bumps
Right,
to now just basically put them wherever
Also, to be
people.
clear, these are speed humps, right?
Okay, that's great.
So
That's
they're-
all anyone's ever
Speed
wanted. right?
humps.
Yeah.
Bumps, much shorter, harder to plow.
Yeah, these are a little platform, but same effect.
are they like the speed tables
Yes.
they will be putting in on Foxhole?
I believe speed table's the same.
Okay,
Well, speed table's more like there, it slopes up and then it's straight, flat, and then it goes down, whereas
Right.
the speed hump is more like, ooh, like it doesn't really stay flat.
It's actually the sign says speed hump.
Okay. Okay,
That's
and
speed
so a
bump.
bump is just like a boom, like, okay, so just,
I think Joyce Lane
I was
is a
just
speed
gonna,
bump.
it's very similar.
Hanford Shopping Plaza.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a speed bump.
Yeah,
but that's private property, so they can do it.
Probably is
Yeah.
a table. That's a much, it's like a
Yes.
crosswalk.
Like it's a,
Uh-huh.
right.
or like at
So-
the.
Yeah, so it's basically, I guess there's sort of 3 grades.
so the next
Speed
one,
deterring
a speed
device.
bump, some kind of, some kind of traffic slowing
Yes.
device. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think, that's,
I can see
And to
that on
John's-
Savannah.
And to John's
Gage, no.
explanation, part of his equation there is that it was a 500-foot or longer. These.
Yeah.
That's part of his, it worked, whatever his requirements were, it fit it. So that's an interesting key thing that if you guys
Well,
wanted to
well-
request them in other places,
yeah.
to consider
I look
that.
at my measurement,
Well, the S Street goes downhill from Clifton.
so that speeds people up.
Said that
Yeah.
street.
Yes.
I don't want to get in trouble. The way you say it still sounds wrong to me, so.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
it goes downhill, so I'm trying, so the speed bump is at the Foxhall and,
I don't know where it is.
all right, okay.
Does anyone?
Oh, is it?
Check it out and tell.
Yeah, I guess you guys will report back.
That's interesting.
Oh, it's interesting to also think, yeah, for anyone listening who wants to report, I guess, on 311 about there's people speeding on their street, yeah. They might get priority if they have that distance. What does it say, 500?
500 feet between
500
sections.
feet, yeah.
And it sounds like it maybe your alderman, sentence it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good to know. And like I said, there has sort of been this sort of change in attitude towards these things, which is, I think, very good.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's great. Was there anything else related to the speed bumps, humps? I know that I think John Schultz has also mentioned he changed the beeping on one of the Broadway cross signals, the one Gustavo, if you're on, you would always had a complaint about the street that was announced, I believe. It was saying the wrong street.
On Broadway or something?
I'm not sure if
Or
it's there.
wasn't,
Yeah, but apparently John fixed it.
yes.
Yeah, which is good
Hey.
news. Hey.
Sorry, I'm doing, I'm picking up my kid at school. Can you repeat the question?
No, there was, I think John Schulteisen said that he finally fixed the crosswalk announcement in a street that you had always complained about, right?
Yeah, I think that was across with Broadway and Elmendorf.
Okay. Great. So now that's been resolved finally?
I haven't been able to check it out, but yeah, if it says he fixed it, I think it should be good.
All right, that's great. I know that's been a long sort of
I know that's
time
a year.
coming. All right. Okay, I think that was everything in the new business. Was there anything else anyone wanted to discuss? I think you said there are a couple of crashes that I didn't even hear about.
There's a bunch.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's, I have two, I think there's been more recently, but in the past like week or week and a half or something, there was the one. And they don't give us a lot of information, in the reports, but there was one intersection of the Green Line and Third Ave. And that, I'm assuming that they were coming. It was a cyclist, at first they said it was a pedestrian, but it was a cyclist, and it said they were on advanced life support or something where it sounded like really very bad. And there was also a picture of it, and it looked like there was like the one side of the windshield was like smashed, like it was like a big. I guess they make them where they don't like fall apart, but it was like
It was shattered.
yeah, it was shattered, and so so that is and one of the things I haven't actually been there recently, but I know in the past there's been issues with like foliage being in front of the stop sign.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Are you talking about this particular location?
Yeah, I don't, on the Green Line in general. I don't know if that is the case right now there, but, that's one thing is that I think sometimes people have not. Like, or for some reason they don't see the stop sign. I don't know if that's why, but I don't know if that's what happened.
Well, I don't think there's a stop sign usually at the,
Well, just for the people on the trail, not.
for people on the trail, right? They don't know that they're
Stop sign.
coming at
Yeah.
an intersection.
Well, that's another thing that, we've talked actually with some of the advocates I work with, they've talked about putting stop signs, requiring stop signs at all trail crossings because, there a lot of times there are. And
Looks like, so this is from 2019, but there was a one of these, so
oh,
it's
one of
a
those
yield
things
to
that
pedestrians
that gets,
sort of-
like,
that always get hit by
right.
cars. Yeah. So I mean, this is 6 years old, so Lord knows where this thing is now. But yeah, no, I mean, I know what you're saying. It's I mean, yeah, it's those crossings, yeah, that's
I
unfortunate.
don't know if Freeman is just into accidents lately.
Someone's trying to say something.
Really are a bunch.
Yeah.
I was to say something like.
I don't know if it's, yeah, I don't know if it's, well, the other thing is there is a, on Facebook, you can follow the, like, the ambulance blotter and they'll say like, address, car versus pedestrian, and it's just like, when something first happens, so you can find out through there sometimes. And even sometimes you find out, they post that and then you don't see anything in the news, and you're like, what happened?
Right,
right. But yeah, I think it seems like maybe I don't know if it's more crashes or just there.
It's a change that
Yeah.
sometimes when daylight savings time change, it's
Yeah,
a little bit strange for about a week or two because
yeah.
it's darker earlier than most people expect and yeah.
I feel like people start to drive aggressively when it gets dark earlier. Like, I don't know if they're trying to get home because it's just like dark out, or it's just like, it just seems like people pick up speed and it's
I
very
think they
strange.
think that they got to like maybe 6 o'clock and then they find out it's 4:30 and you know, the streetlights are on and they're
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
like, oh, well, what happened? You know, I think it.
So what is the other one? What?
Well, oh no, I was just gonna say regarding that, I think, the Gary, I don't know if everyone knows about Gary White, but he was killed on Broadway. He was crossing the street. He was in his 70s. I think he walked with a cane, sometimes, but he was crossing in a crosswalk, illegal crosswalk, unmarked, I believe. And he was hit by a car and there was nothing in the news at all. He died, he was taken to the hospital and he died. So, there was nothing in the news, and the only reason we found out was kind of through the grapevine. Somebody talked to somebody heard from somebody's family that happened. So we kind of made a little bit of a stink about it. So so hopefully now they've kind of like, maybe they're trying to be a little bit more conscientious about reporting these things too, because it is really, that was really pretty egregious reporting, so.
That was the one down the Osmond Towers.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, that was right, yeah, right.
That where that,
Yeah, but then the other one that I know of was, so someone was hit in the crosswalk at Henry and Broadway. And I don't know, yeah, so that's another one we don't really know about, but I don't know if that's one of the places where you can or people could take a right on red, maybe illegally. I don't know if it's illegal right on red. But also I don't know if, so like sometimes if like, there's a red light, but you can take a right while the pedestrian's on the opposing side. They walk. What do you call it? A leading, yeah, there's no leading pedestrian, or there's no like simultaneous thing where like, basically they make it so people turning right can turn into people who have the crosswalks on it's saying that you can cross. So I don't know what happened with that, but,
Well, even if you do make a right on red, you're supposed to stop.
right,
Make sure
Yeah.
that it's
Right.
clear.
And that's-
And the pedestrians have the right. The problem is that people just go, oh, right on red, and they.
Yeah.
That is such a consistent thing around here, that just the sort of not even the stopping before you turn right, right, that,
Yeah,
it's
not,
very dangerous.
you can make a right on red only if it's safe, and if it's not safe, that means there's a person in front of you or if there's something in front of you. But most people, you're right,
They just don't.
they just assume like, oh, why are you in my way?
and you can't really, yeah, and it's sometimes like your view is partially blocked if the. Okay.
Well, we have a problem in Kingston with them not keeping the intersections clear of brush. It is just not enforced, and it's awful.
This particular intersection, like usually, the ones that have like for instance, it has the bike. It has the bike crosswalk, the bike light also, so they're usually pretty good with syncing everything up. So I don't know
Yeah,
specifically how that all works timing wise, but usually they're pretty good. So just looking at my
I
phone.
know you can't turn right off of O'Neill onto Broadway. I'm
Right.
not sure about Broadway
Yeah.
onto Henry, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, there's a turn lane. There used to be
There's
the
a turn lane.
terrible, there used to be the terrible curb cut, but now there's a right turn lane and a straight lane, so,
Mhm.
and a straight left. So that to me, I assume means that you can't do it.
Yeah. I think they took away all the,
Yeah, all the right side of it. Yeah.
which would be good
Yeah,
because
that'd be good. I mean,
it's
that's,
just too
yeah,
hectic.
yeah, we could get red light. Maybe someday, get a camera for that, camera.
Oh, yes. And we'll get the money.
Yeah.
And run out of town on the rail.
Yeah, that's right. CSAC will be seeking refuge somewhere else.
Yes.
Yes, we are not sponsored by any kind of company.
All right, well, thank you for bringing those to our attention. Yeah, I'm not on Facebook, so I don't follow any of these.
Oh, yeah.
These groups, but yeah.
Just out of curiosity, does this group, does the Facebook group follow the rail incidents?
They did have some, yeah, somebody was recently hit by a train. too.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, oh, yeah, on Smith, yeah,
Do they survive?
yes.
Yeah.
Still don't understand how you get hit by a train.
I don't know.
I just, I don't understand
They're
that.
actually really quiet.
I think I heard.
Trains are insanely quiet, like absolutely insanely quiet. I mean, I'm certified as a Metro North quote unquote contractor for the safety training. We've done walkthroughs on tracks. You can't hear them really, even the diesel engines going. It's really bizarre, especially close to rail yards with the car shuttling back and forth. And just the rule of warning is if you're near tracks, assume there's a train. It's the only real safe way.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting too, because, you hear the blowing the whistles and stuff.
I've been saying, you can hear them all over the place.
Right.
But you can't do.
You get,
And the thing is that morning I heard a continuous whistle blow, just nonstop for about 30 seconds. And I was like, wow, he's really laying into it this morning, you know?
Well, I mean, here you go, right? I mean.
Yeah.
No.
yeah,
I suspect that may have been the moment.
Yeah.
May also have not been an accident.
right, yeah, that is a thing.
All right, well, moving on to announcements, we discussed the meeting. Tuesday before the next Complete Streets meeting is the Safe and Accessible Flatbush Foxhall. Discussion to the Common Council chambers, so I think I might try to attend that. Sounds like there'll be a good discussion. And, feel free to voice any views as a citizen of Kingston or the area. And then the next point was the Midtown Linear Park Community Space Design, which I believe
Public meeting tonight.
for the
Right there.
Midtown.
I don't have the times in front of me,
Okay.
and it's not on the county's project page, unfortunately, which I think is just an oversight. But if you want to take a chance, it's at the Red Owl.
Oh, right. I did see that. Yeah, it's like it started at 4, right? I think it goes till later than our meeting.
4:30 to 6:30.
Thank you.
They had it earlier from 12:30 to 2:30.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Maybe I'll hop over.
They're proposing the preferred design, which is very preferred design.
Oh, the one that won from feedback?
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
So it's lovely to see another green space speed design.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's fun to fill out that survey, frankly, and just to see all the sort of inputs. So. All right, that's really exciting. All right, was there anything else anyone want to discuss at this meeting?
Something I thought of earlier that I wanted to mention during our conversation about sidewalk cafes, and this is sort of tangential and I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I wonder if a thing that we should be getting for is like whether it's the sidewalk cafes, whether we can facilitate sidewalk cafes instead being taking up like car spots
Oh, yeah.
instead of
Right.
sidewalk space.
It's like a rough draft, that sort of.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder what are the trade-offs for the business and for the city, and whether there's ways that we can make that decision more likely to be
If you
favorable.
take up the parking
pedestrians.
space, you lose revenue. If the business is willing to pay the revenue from the parking meter. If
Yeah.
there's a meter, then that could be part of the discussion, but that's usually one of the reasons why they don't give up parking space.
Sure, but then, if,
No, it
would make
sense to have it in the street. I hear what you're saying,
yeah,
but
and,
it's a revenue.
if the purpose of governance is to create a city that is more livable and pleasant for everyone and where business is thriving, like these are the kinds of decisions that we should be encouraging positively, and things like sidewalk cafes, outdoor dining are such a net improvement to city tax revenue that like the net impact on city finances would be enormously positive, And it's just like a matter of trying to figure out how we encourage those decisions.
So that's interesting to think about. You don't see it very often in Kingston, right? I mean, rough drafts is the only one I can really think of that comes to mind, right? There
One by,
During COVID, weren't they all?
and there's one by
Yes.
the Kingsley.
Oh, on the side street there? On the other side of the
The
Kingsley?
Bunn's place uptown too. They're out on the
I
street.
thought they were out in the
Yeah.
street, and then after COVID, they were brought back to the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Well, I think I think they're still there.
There's still some that are in
Yeah,
the
there's
street.
still some that are
They're
there.
in the street.
Well, yeah, rough drafts, it was like hip and all that stuff.
Think so. But I think the thing is, I don't know if everyone has heard of like Donald Shute, but he's a guy. Everyone's like, yeah, everyone who knows man. But he is a economist who actually recently passed away, but he did like last year. I know, or maybe it was this year, but anyway, so he was, he had lived a long life, but he came up with this kind of theory about parking. Where basically thinking of it as it's a revenue, but it's also like managing the demand basically and pricing the parking at the correct level so that you always basically the goal would be to always have like one parking space open so that there's always parking there. And so if that means that the parking price on that block is high, then that's what it is. So I think, and I think about that sometimes with Kingston, because sometimes I'm like, I feel like some of the parking is priced too low and some of it's priced too high. Because, there's the most popular areas, it's often really hard to park there. So something to think about, and I think it impacts revenue, but it also impacts just like car dependency and lots of other things. So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you think it would be so easy nowadays to link up all the parking meters on a network and fluctuate
Yeah.
the price based on how many people are actually parked on the spaces. Like it would be so easy.
Change every single day.
I know.
It's a big deal when it's in Gotham.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure.
There's no way to do that with it.
There might be, but how
But
is
you
it?
have to have
But
an
then
app.
people who use that are being charged more than people who.
Right.
Which there are
There's-
actually. There's an.
Yeah. You can only do it by an hour, right?
But like if you choose
Yeah.
that.
Do they still have the meters?
Yeah.
They still have the
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I used to watch the Maritime Museum. I see the guy and, once a week or clean out the meters, walk around this little
Okay,
change.
and that's an accessibility thing too, which I get, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
but you have to have ability without
Yeah,
that.
yes. You'd have to get your
Yeah.
meters, right?
So I don't see it, so the city of Kingston has a fee schedule, and that's where every single year the common council votes for all the costs for all those things.
Right,
Speeding
right.
tickets, parking fees, all those things. So I thought that I had seen it here, you can absolutely like rent a parking spot for a festival, you can do that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
I thought that I had seen it in here, what it is for an extended amount
It's
of time.
like a red band or something that
Yeah.
you do. Yeah.
I'm not finding it at this moment,
Mm.
but I know that it's possible.
Mhm.
Is, and the parking, the sidewalk cafe in a parking spot is mentioned in the code. So it is absolutely possible. And I think what you're getting at is the encouragement of that. that's the part that I think we were trying to get at a little bit. Is how to encourage people to use that.
Or even, think about the little parklet, like using spaces that are on streets that aren't parking spaces, that are these sort of buffer zones and doing things in them if they're big enough. So there are options.
Thanks, team.
All right.
That's fun.
Thanks for bringing it up. All right. Anything else before we wrap? Great. Well, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you.
Thank you for joining us,
December.
Chris.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
December.